Hello everyone, Gnomish here, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to get 300 plus frames per second in Minecraft. This is going to be a pretty detailed tutorial, so make sure you stick around, look in the description for some timestamps because I'm going to be including everything that I do, and there's a lot because it takes a lot of steps to maximize your MacBook as much as you can. A lot of these things I'm going to be going over you can also do in PC, but since I'm using a MacBook currently and I don't have a PC, I'm going to be teaching you all how I get high FPS. Now, just a little disclaimer, I am recording right now, and so my frame rates are going to be low. I have some things open, and so I have gotten 300 FPS using all of these strategies if I wasn't recording and stuff, but it takes a lot of RAM to record, and so my frames definitely suffer when I start recording. So the first thing you're going to do is, if you haven't already, just go to www.lunarclient.com. This is a Minecraft client, and so basically instead of launching up Minecraft on the original client, you open this and it includes Optifine. Optifine makes it so your game has advanced settings, and so you get more FPS from Lunar Client is the client that I choose to use. You can also use Badlion, Labima, all kinds of other clients, but so far Lunar Client is the one that I've had the most success with and the highest frame rates with. So I recommend it. It's free. You can use it on all platforms, but I'm using Mac OS. And I'll show you how to set it up. When you first open Lunar Client, you're gonna see something like this. Make sure to hit this drop down arrow and choose version that you want to be playing on. But the settings that I like, now this setting is very important. You need to go down and you need to change the allocated memory. This is really important. At the bottom it'll show you the memory that your computer has, and here at the top it'll show you the amount of memory that you're going to be letting Lunar Client use on your computer. If you put this too high and you allocate all of your gigabytes, Lunar Client is going to be working pretty well, but if you try to run anything else, including video recordings or Chrome, Opera, anything else, it will suffer. You won't be able to run it well, which is why I keep it on a solid 6 gigabytes, which is most of my RAM. But the more gigabytes of RAM you allocate, the more resources you're giving Lunar Client, your computer, to run Minecraft. So I'm here on Lunar Client, and you can see in my inventory Lunar Client, and all you gotta do is once you've installed it, logged in, and you joined a server, is you hit the left shift bar. This will pop up this little Lunar Client pop-up. You can go into settings, and I'll show you, you have different defaults. I can't give these to you exactly how they are, so I'm just gonna have to go over partially what I'm doing to get all of my frames. And I'm just gonna go through. You can pause the video once I go into the video settings, and you want to copy pretty much all of these. You can switch it up a little bit, but all of these settings are maximized as much as I can. And so the big one is render distance. You want to have render distance pretty short. For my videos, I keep it around 6 so you can see the opponents, but I usually keep it pretty short because that greatly impacts frame. Another thing is, I'm just going to mention this, the GUI scale. I keep this at normal, but later in the video there's going to be a purpose for this, and so you can see that if you change it, you can change the kind of the scale of it, small, medium, normal, so you can change how your game looks based on what you're playing on. That's going to make sense a little bit later. So once you have these copied down, go into details. For the most part, I keep all of these off except for stars. Keep this on because this is what allows your background sky to go on. So I've seen a lot of people who turn this off and then their sky stops working. So you need to make sure your stars is on and that sky is off. I know it's kind of weird that turning off sky keeps your sky on, but it just does. Put these all on fast or off, and then if you want to go into animations, pretty much you're going to want to turn off all of the animations because these particles take a lot of your frames. Then go to quality. Now this is going to impact a lot of your game, so you can choose some of these, but I recommend doing these settings. You can pause. The performance settings is very important. You want smooth FPS on, fast render on, render regions on, all of this on. I don't like having lazy chunk loading. It can help, but it makes the chunks kind of go on and off in loading, It helps FPS, but it looks kind of strange in my video, so I choose to have that off. And then if you go into other, just turn most of these off because Lunar Client does a lot of this on its own. Once you have all the Optifine settings, go to the settings for Lunar Client. Go to all of them, and I'm just gonna show you a couple that really drastically change the FPS. Most of them don't affect it too much, but you have to keep in mind if you have too many of these things on, it can make your FPS go down. So don't have too much over your screen and stuff. You want to go into the settings tab next to the mod and go into performance. So on its own, Lunar Client will optimize your FPS as much as it can, but there's also some performance settings and general settings that you can change. I keep my lazy chunk loading to lowest, and then in general you can change all of this stuff. Messing around with all these settings and figuring out what works for your computer is kind of the best thing you can do, since most people won't have the same computer as I do. Another thing that can help your performance in FPS is going into resource packs. I have released a lot of resource packs, so make sure to go into the link in the description to see some of them I have released. But using 16x packs, meaning there's 16 pixels in each block or item, makes it so your computer has to render less pixels, meaning it is lower quality, but it really helps your FPS. So if you're playing on a high X, if you're playing on a 32x, 64x, one of those, you're gonna make sure you go onto a 16x pack or below, because that really helps your FPS. Right now I'm using my 900 subscriber pack. Also, you want to make sure that you have no shaders on, because shaders hurt your game a lot as well. So make sure you have shaders off and a 16 or below texture pack on. So this next bit is going to be on my home Mac screen, and I'm going to show you some things you can help improve your MacBook. So this is what I'm running right now. I'm using a MacBook Air Early 2015. I'm not going to go into too detail on some of this because it can be kind of complicated. Basically, this is what I'm using, so it might vary how much FPS you're getting depending on what kind of computer you have. Another thing that helps is clearing out your storage. I haven't done it recently, so my storage is getting full. So clearing out your storage definitely helps. Get rid of all your old applications. Delete all files you're no longer using. Put them in Google Drive maybe, but deleting a lot off of your storage helps your computer run more smoothly. A quick tip for clearing out your storage really fast is using this application called GrandPerspective. Basically what it will do is scan your entire computer of all of your documents and show you visually what is taking up the most room in your storage. I found this super incredibly helpful. This helped my computer run a lot smoother. There's going to be a link down in the description on how to use it and how to download it, because I'm not going to go too deeply into this application in this video. It takes a little while to scan because it's literally going through all of your files. Don't worry, the security is really good. It's a very trusted application. I've done this many times and it hasn't touched or removed anything unless you've explicitly told it to. Once it's gone through your computer, it'll look like something like this. The larger boxes, the same color, is one single application. And so this is one video that took 34 gigabytes. I'm deleting that right now because it was the 1 hour long moonwalking song video and I don't need that anymore. So what this can do is reveal it in your Finder, and then you can easily move it to trash and delete it just from there, and you can see visually what is taking up the most storage in your computer. Now if you're playing Minecraft and you want the top amount of FPS you can, you need to make sure you're closed everything. So all your applications need to be closed. What you can do to do this is go Command Tab, and this will show you all of your open applications. All of your applications that are open will take RAM from your computer, meaning it will hurt your game performance. So make sure you have everything closed except for Minecraft. Another helpful tip is you can go into your Spotlight search and go into search up Activity Monitor. Open up Activity Monitor, and here you will be able to see the different amount of CPU and RAM usage. This is a little technical, but just stay with me. This will be able to show you what applications on your computer are taking up the most of your computer's resources. You can also go to memory and CPU. So as you can see here, Lunar Client is taking 4.62 gigabytes of memory on my computer, which is half of my computer's memory because I have 8. So if you see a lot of applications, if you see things that are taking up a lot of gigabytes or even megabytes, you can close these down and it'll give your computer more resources to run Lunar Client faster and ultimately getting more frame. Right now I'm using a monitor, so I have my MacBook closed and it's plugged into this monitor. Using a different resolution for your MacBook screen can help your performance. So all you have to do is go to System Preferences, then go to Displays, and you can go to Scaled and then you hit 720p. The options are going to look a little bit different because I am using a monitor and it's the correct dimension, so I'll show a screenshot of what it might look like. Changing the resolution lower makes it so your computer basically has to think less about what it's showing you. A similar example to this is if you're ever watching YouTube and you go down into the settings bar and you choose 720p, HD, or 4K, that's kind of showing you the different sizes of video. So if you choose a lower size in your YouTube video, it'll take less for your Wi-Fi or data to watch the video. It's similar. So if you change the resolution lower on your MacBook screen, it makes your computer have to think less about what it's showing you. This is something that I thought at first wouldn't do a lot, but it's done so much, and it's the thing combined with everything else that is making me go up to 300 FPS. Now this is where the GUI scale comes into play. A little earlier I showed you how you can change this. When you change the resolution of your screen, the GUI scale will be probably larger on your screen. If you like how it is right now and you don't want it to look different when you change the resolution, you can go to the options after you changed it down, video settings, and change it to large. I'm so glad I figured this out because I haven't seen this on any other tutorials. I tried this out to get more FPS and I didn't like how it made my GUI and my hotbar, everything just was larger and it made my videos look kind of weird, and so I ended up not using it for a while, and that made some of my videos have a really poor FPS. So I'm really glad I found that out. Another quick tip you can do is when you're selecting scaled, hit Option or Alt on your keyboard and it'll show advanced settings for resolution. So this will show you a lot of different choices. Maybe you want to record a video on different resolution. It might make black bars go on the side or top of your screen, but I thought I would add this in because it's given me some leeway to choose the exact resolution size that I wanted. Okay, this is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. It means a lot to me. And make sure to check the comment section down below because if I come up with any other additional tips or recommendations, I'm going to leave them in the pinned comment. If this has helped you at all, I would really appreciate it if you can consider subscribing. It helps me out a ton. Also hitting that like button and commenting below helps it boost with the YouTube algorithm and lets other people see the video. If you need any additional help, you can also check out my Discord link down in the description. Join that and I can help you directly from there. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and that's going to be the end. I'll see you in the next video.